Hello beautiful people, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Rebimpe. If you're new here, you're definitely welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please do well to join the family by liking, subscribing and dropping a comment. This would really help this page go far. And to my returning subscribers, you guys know how much I love you. Thank you so much for always coming back. Thank you for the sweet comments. I even see some comments in my emails and I'm like, it's plenty. Thank you so much, guys. I'm really grateful. And please encourage your friends to join the family because we can accommodate them. Okay, so today, please ignore whatever background voice. In this video, I should have refilmed it because I don't know how all of a sudden it disappeared from my draft. So I had to do it again and it's paining me. But then I had to just do it. So ignore whatever background voice you're hearing and all of that. So today, again, I'll be sharing my delivery experience, my birth and delivery experience. Let me put it that way. Okay, so I think I'm now fit to talk about it because, oh god, we're just thankful for this face. This is such a beautiful face and we're thankful for it. So I gave birth on a Monday and everything started on Saturday. So this is like a story time. So you should just grab your popcorn and your drink and let's roll. So I gave birth on Monday. And so everything started on Saturday. So on Saturday, our delivery, what's her name again? Domestic staff came, Auntie Abigail. She was the one working with us at that time. She came after working. She was like, Auntie, you have to make your hair. I'm like, I don't have that strength because at that time I was already 40 weeks. And guys, you know, first time moms, you know how this thing, even if you are not a first time mom, getting to 40 weeks is a lot of work. I told her I cannot sit for long and I don't want to do anything. So she was not encouraging me. Auntie, you have to make your hair so that in case maybe next week you go into delivery so that you can look good, blah blah blah. Okay, I gave in. I told her, okay, come and make the hair because after she finished doing the house chores, when my hair is rough, she makes the hair. So she made the hair, and when she was making my hair, she said she would do shuku. I'm like, Auntie Abigail, don't do shuku for me because I've not even done shuku before, and shuku would take a lot of time. So she was like, no, you have to look fine, you have to look beautiful. I sat there. She made the shuku, and it's actually beautiful. I would also, in all of this, anytime when I'm editing and I see pictures or videos of any of the incidents or experience, I'll just put it there. So when I was done with that, Saturday was gone. We actually did a bit of cooking and Sunday. So Sunday, I stopped going to church at this time because I was really heavy. I will insert a picture. So on Sunday, I told my husband, this child needs to come out. And one of the things that I've not done is photo shoot. And at this time, my husband had now been so busy. Like, if I had not known my husband before, I'll be like, maybe he's running away from responsibilities and all of that. But at this time, he was so busy that we could barely even do photo shoots, go out. Okay, so I realized that we could not go out to do this photo shoot. I brought photo shoots to the house. I just said we're going to do a little bit of DIY photo shoot at home so we could have something to keep in our memories. So when he came back, he did the setup for me. We had the background in the sitting room. So he did everything and he took some of the shots for me. And at the time, we were not really getting what we wanted. We went outside to take some pictures and all of that. So that happened after service, when he came back from service on Sunday. And that Sunday, after the photo shoot, I told myself, yes, star girl can come, this baby can come. So later in the evening, they already made dinner. And I told my mom, I don't want to eat that, I want rice. Then there's this way I like my stew to be. So I told her, in the evening during the usual walk that I was going to get fresh pepper. I wanted fresh, everything fresh. So we strolled there, and guys, during that stroll, I could count the numbers of times I peed. I was peeing like, I'm not even joking. In less than 2 minutes, I could have peed like 4 times. And I'm like, what is happening? Like this. She was just like, calm down. Yeah, if you feel like peeing, just get a place. And it was so embarrassing. Like, how can I just be peeing like that? So we came back home. I made the sauce myself and I ate. So while I was eating, I was feeling pain. I was telling my mom. I told her, I said, Mommy, it looks like this thing is coming. My mom said, don't worry, when the thing catch you, nobody will tell you. We all know in the house that the baby is coming. So I ate as much as I wanted and we went to bed. But I was feeling the pain. It was not pain. I was not just feeling comfortable. Yeah, that's the word. I was not feeling comfortable. So we went to bed. When we went to bed, around 3 a.m. in the morning, I still wasn't feeling comfortable, but it's not enough to wake everybody. But I was just keeping it like, I can hold it, I can hold it. When it was 6 o'clock, I couldn't hold it. So that was 6 a.m. on Monday morning. I couldn't hold it. I woke my husband. Oh, I don't know how it is doing me. So I don't know how to explain this feeling. It is not as if, I don't know. My prayer is that every woman that wants to gets to experience this feeling. If you want to, God will do it and you will experience what it feels to have that pain. I don't know how to explain it. It is not something I can explain. So I told my mom. My mom said I should better calm down. That if we go to the hospital now, they will send us back home because what is doing me has not even started doing me. So I should just calm down and take my time. I'm like, if what is doing me now is not what is supposed to be doing me, then there is problem. So 6 o'clock, I had my bath. By 7 o'clock, I was ready, and they were still saying, just calm down, take your time, just move around. At that time, I couldn't move anything. If you have gotten to 40 weeks before, you understand what I'm saying, because at this time, it looks like you're carrying an extra luggage that you just need to drop. That was how I felt. So I told my mom, let's go to the hospital. My husband was like, okay, let's hold on a bit. At least let's have a clear face. And you cannot have a clear face too, because at that time, when the day breaks, it's still really dark, even when it's close to 7 a.m. 7 o'clock like this, we left the house. By the time we got to the hospital, the nurse we met on duty was closing for the morning shift, but she checked me. Anytime I remember this particular scene, it gives me headache. So when we got there, so they would check the cervix to be sure that maybe you are close or you are dilated, and that's the one. And to say that everything you've read and watched and seen and heard would not even prepare you for this particular moment. So she got the glove and she was like, she was going to check how dilated I was and all of that. And she dipped her hand into my V, and I'm like, I was screaming, I was shouting. She was just like, if you know you don't want me to do this, maybe you should go back home. And I'm like, you people should just calm down, because I've not done it before, and you don't just expect me to be calm and you're putting your hand inside there. It's not possible. So she did it and she said, you're just 3 centimeters dilated, so go home and come back. I'm like, what did you just say? Go home and come back? No, I cannot go home and come back. Is it that I stay here? So at that time, I think the whole thing had triggered my blood pressure. So just for the sake of they are doing their duty, they just said, check her blood pressure and let's see. If the blood pressure is fine, just send her home. So when they checked, my blood pressure had risen way above what it used to be. And I was hearing them say, so what happened? How did you get here? What did you have blood pressure issue during the pregnancy? I was like, no, my blood pressure was always normal during every check and everything. So they told my husband to get medication, and they had to put me on bed rest. So I was in the hospital instead of going back home. So I couldn't even move around, do any work or do anything. I was just lying down because the blood pressure has gone over the roof, and they just had to keep me to monitor me. So at that time, so the nurse had closed. Then we now had 2 elderly nurses resumed. So I think one was the matron and one was assistant. I don't know what their designation was, but they were respected nurses and elders at the hospital. So they resumed morning duty. And when they resumed, so both of them can even speak Yoruba, and it got to a point I was not liking the way I was feeling. Like, I don't know how to explain this, but okay. You know, when you are in pain, the pain goes down, you feel comfortable, but before you could turn yourself to the other side, you already start feeling the pain again, and everything just feels like it's going against you. It's just in a rush. Like, right now you're fine, the other time you feel like something wants to pop out of you and it's struggling to come out, but they keep telling me you're 30 centimeters dilated. And so at that time, it was, I think, I decided, okay, so when those nurses resumed, I asked them, is there no alternative? Is there nothing else I can do? I don't think I want to go through this. I don't think I want to do this. So they said, hey. So when I was saying that, it was now that I'm remembering. Now, when I was telling them that, they told my husband to go and get something. So I think it's usually a trick. So when my husband left, they said, hey, you children of nowadays, you don't want to go through any pain. You don't want to do anything. All you just want to do is have the pregnancy and give birth to the baby and nothing. You don't want anything stressful. You don't want to go through the pain and everything. I'm like, if there are other alternatives, why do I need to go through this pain? Because at that time you told me I was 3 centimeters dilated and you still want me to go through and I'm still going to 10. So why do I have to do this to myself? So they just kept encouraging me, you can do this, you can do that. And I'm like, God, I cannot do this. I cannot do this. I don't want to do this. So at that time, my husband that was supposed to encourage me was not even there because they had already told him to go and bring something, to go and buy something. I'm like, why do you have to send my husband to go and buy something at this point in time? So when it was 12 o'clock, they came to check me again. They said I was 7 centimeters dilated. So from 7 a.m. in the morning to 12 noon, I was able to go from 3 to 7. And at that time I was asking them, is there something you can do to make this thing come fast? So a doctor came in. So I feel that maybe when these people are being trained in school, they should add a little bit of empathy. Like, no empathy at all. I remember that there was a student, what would I call, student, doctor on housemanship at that time, and he was so friendly. I've forgotten his name now, and he was encouraging me and all of that. But I was so uncomfortable that, okay, so this was the way the delivery room. You have the delivery room, then from the delivery room you have the nursing station, then you have another place where those that have delivered their baby rest. So I was in the delivery room, have offed my clothes, I was stark naked, and I just wanted to run to where others were, like outside. That's how I was gonna talk to my husband. I was gonna see my mommy. I was already acting. Like someone that wants to go mad. And this doctor was like, he just barged in. I was like, at that time I've even worn my clothes safe, and he was like, pregnancy is not madness. You better behave yourself. Because last week you still have a child, a 14-year-old girl that came to deliver. So you are a grown adult. So you should not be doing like somebody that wants to faint or something. So pull yourself together and do this thing once and for all. I'm like, are you talking to me? Like, in my head, I'm like, is this me? I'm not a 14-year-old girl, and this is my first time. I've not been doing it before, so this is my first time of giving birth, and I don't know how it's being done. Say, hey, you just have to pull yourself together. I couldn't answer him because what was doing me at that time was not what is doing him. So I just be going. So the prayer I prayed was that when I am going to deliver, he should not be there. Because how? So he left. I was doing my thing again. I wanted to go out. So the nurses were like, as in they now knew me already in the delivery ward. Yeah, like, go back. You're not supposed to go out naked. Go back. I said, oh, mommy, I want to go back. I don't even know what I was calling mommy. Mommy, I want to go out. I want to do this. I want to see my husband. I want to see my mommy. So it's so good to laugh about it now, but then, mom, it was not such a pleasant experience. So after that, so one of the nurses again checked and said I was 7 centimeters dilated. So later on, so before all of these things, they would have passed the drip, something, everything. They would have passed it on your arm, and so that when they need to infuse drips and everything. So I think when I was 7 centimeters, or when I was 8 centimeters dilated, they now started passing drip. Happy? Yeah. So it was time to now deliver, to push the baby out. And then another thing I also feel is that hospitals need to do better, because I was holding my knee together. It was when I gave birth and I went to other hospitals that I realized that you can, there are some things that you can hang your legs on instead of holding your legs together. I'll look for a picture and insert what I went through to you guys, to show you guys. So I was holding my legs together, folded, holding it together to push. So they said, the baby is coming, oh, I can see the baby's head, but don't push unless I say you should push. I should not push unless you say I should push. The thing is going to push. And before this time, she said I shouldn't leave the bed again, that the baby is coming and the baby might come anytime. Then I was feeling like I want to pee, I was feeling like I want to use the toilet. So they said it's all part of the delivery process and everything. So there are even times that I'm not feeling like I want to pee, but because the thing is inconveniencing me, I'll tell them I want to go and pee to just leave the bed. So at that time, I was going, coming back. So this was already past 2 now. And those in the morning duty would want to leave for those in the afternoon duty. But these nurses, I'm thankful to them because they didn't leave. They didn't leave me because they said those that were going to resume in the afternoon will not be patient with me the way they've been patient with me and all of that. So they stayed till I delivered. So 3 o'clock, yeah, the work now started. 3 p.m. push. Oye being pay push, I'm pushing. Oye being pay push, I'm pushing. Hey, push very well. So they were saying that if I do not push well, that it might affect the head of the baby. So that I should push well so that the head of the baby would not form the way it's not supposed to form. So God helping me, I pushed. After a lot of push, I'm seeing the head of the baby. The everything is set. I can see, because when she inserted her hand, she inserted her, okay. And mind you guys, that thing is painful. If there are other alternatives to that kind of thing, I would advise that they better look for that alternative, because how can you just... Okay, so I pushed and Star Girl came out. She cried, like immediately she came out, she cried, and they brought her to me. What did you give birth to? So in the answer to this, the woman is Yoruba, so she said, Kilobi, like, what did you give birth? I said, it's a girl. I now asked her, does she have hair? They say, of all the things that is doing me right now, is that supposed to be my major problem? I said, does she have hair? And immediately I gave birth. One woman, they already called her prof. Say, this baby is a prof. She came from heaven as a bro. I didn't understand until I saw my baby. So I was like, does she have hair? Is she beautiful? They were like, oh, in all of these things, this is the most important to you. I mean, so after the whole thing, it was now, after I delivered, they wanted the placenta out. And they were looking for it. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but they couldn't get the placenta out the usual way. So they were still dipping their hands inside me, deep to look for the placenta. So at this time that they said I delivered, so everybody was saying congratulations. However, they were not like being paid, stay well now, we are looking for the placenta. I'm like, the placenta will come out. Actually, the most important thing is that I've given birth. So people should look for the placenta. So they were like, placenta is even worse than giving birth. Like, they need to find it, so I have to be calm for them to find it. Meanwhile, my baby came out 3.9 kg. So aside from the cut they gave me, my baby came out and even teared me. So in the process of, they were also dipping their hand, shaking their hand to look for the placenta to bring out everything. I was wailing, I was shouting, and I don't know, but I just feel that if I want to go this route again, I'm not going to go through this shaking hand inside somebody and all of that and all of that. So after the whole thing, they should have brought out placenta, but I've lost a lot of blood. Like, I don't know, but if you mistakenly look at the floor when you were delivering, you see how much blood. I don't know, some people don't lose blood, because there was a woman beside me, the baby just came out, boom, there was barely blood on the thing, on her bed. So I lost a lot of blood, and after the placenta came out, I think I passed out. So I just heard them shouting my name. My mom was, so they had to call my mom, and she was shouting, "Bing, bing, bing, bing." I heard my name, but I was like, it was too close. So I opened my eyes and said, "Mommy, why are you making noise?" She said, if I know what had happened, I would not say she's making noise. So I was there. She came to check me. She was just saying, call me, congratulations. Then one of our family friends, they came. I wasn't even expecting to see them this time. Sister Yuju, she brought pap for me that night. And so I'd rested. So immediately I gave birth, I told my husband to go and get me something very cold. That's something very cold. Yeah, makes sense. And I also forgot to say this, that when I pushed out the baby, my tummy that was this high just became flat. Just felt like somebody put needle in a ball and deflated it. My tummy went back flat immediately. I was like, hey, Jesus, what happened? Everything was so flat that I was like, hey, God is good, God is good. So I had cold Lucozade boost, like it was so cold, I loved it. So I slept back, and at that time they were already doing blood transfusion, because like I said I lost a lot of blood. So, you know, I'm supposed to leave the delivery ward now to, what they used to call the other ward. So the other ward is where you stay when you already have your child. So from that ward, from the delivery ward, you go to that place with your child, and people can come and see you and all of that. So they cleaned me up, and it was time to stand up. Oh, let me go back. You know, I told you that I had tear, and my baby also teared me. Whatever they used to do to stitch, that stitching was another pain entirely. Thinking about it now, my head is spinning. So I think I had maybe 3rd degree or 4th degree. It was so bad, and the doctor on duty could not do it. Had to wait for another. So he had already started, and the nurses were showing him, doctor, I think the guy was on housemanship. Doctor, you didn't stitch this place very well. Stitch it. And even all the injections they were giving me, nothing was working. I could feel the pain. Fine, my threshold for pain is -100. So I don't like pain. But this, it was stitching, and the nurses will still say, "Doctor, see this place, you did not stitch it well." So he had to, after he had stitched to some extent, they now had to call a senior doctor to come. So imagine a doctor already started stitching you, and now I had to wait for another 30 minutes for another doctor to come and stitch you. It was, it's not that particular experience is not something I want to experience again. I waited, I was on that bed, folding my legs, waiting for the doctor to come. The doctor came, and instead of using a 3, I don't know what they call this needle, a 2 something needle, they used a 5 something needle to give me injection there. And you know how painful that can be. I cried, I wailed. It's not something I want to do again. And after the whole thing, the doctor, this particular doctor was actually so kind. He was just saying, sorry. And at this point, it was getting late. There was no light. Maybe the light there was not enough, so they had to use torchlight so that they can see the place very well, and so that they can stitch the place very well. Nothing was enough. My mom was just there. She was outside. My husband was there. Nobody even cared about the baby at this point, because my cry was all over the place. This is not to scare anybody. This is not to say that yours would be like this, because not every delivery is the same. But this particular episiotomy thing, it was a lot. I can still, talking about it now, I can still feel the injection, piercing, and all of that. So after the whole thing was done, had lost blood and everything, time to move from the delivery room to the whatever room. So they had cleaned me up, like I said earlier. So put your leg on the ground so you could move. Then I collapsed. I don't know what happened, but I saw myself on the floor. I was still within myself, not like I had gone. I knew I had collapsed, and they had to call my mom. "Mommy, come and see." And I'm like, why would you call her to come and see? Is this not something you're supposed to fix? So they lifted me up and told me to sit. So immediately they lifted me up. I had not gone to the floor completely. So they lifted me up, then I sat. And again, I heard my mom saying, calling my name. And I'm like, why are you making noise? She's like, she's not making noise, so that they've been calling me since. But because maybe I was already gone and all of that. So thank God we came back. And they moved me, as in they carried me. Like 4 people carried me from the delivery ward to that place there. They gave me blood again. And after the whole thing, I woke up the next morning. Not forgetting that, you know that there was a suture. I mean, what did they call it? There was a stitch. You know that all the all the pain relief that they gave me the previous day would have gone, and I would now start feeling the pain. So in the morning, I woke up, I went to bath, I saw my baby, and they now prescribed another pain relief drug for me, and all of these things now felt like pew! The pain had gone, everything had gone, nothing happened, and it's just so good to see your bundle of joy looking at you and smiling, and you just want to cuddle, you just want to carry your baby and all of that. The second day at the hospital, our family friends, Mr. and Mr. Lani, God bless you, they knew what I love. Amala. They went to Yao, where I used to like it. They bought amala for me. Oh, my father with amala. It felt like I've not eaten amala in my whole life. Like that particular food. I devoured the amala. And then we were discharged and we came home. As in, this experience is actually such a beautiful experience because in all of it, I know that there are some sweet, bitter stories and all of that. But then, it's looking back now, it's a pleasant experience. And but let's not lie, I'm not sure I want to do it again. Mm-mm. I'm not sure I want to do it again because then our doctors and nurses, please do better because women are also humans and you can treat us better. That particular time that we want to date, oh easy Joe. So please treat us better and do us well. So this is my story. I know that your story is not going to be my story, and if you want to share with us, you can drop a comment. And if you can relate with some of the things I have said, please drop a comment and let us laugh over it, let us gist over it. And if you want to drop your story too, please drop your story so that other women can also learn. You know, this is not just a place where we say our stories and just move. We want other people to also learn from our stories. So thank you guys for coming to my story time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for dropping a comment because I intend to hear from you too. And I'll see you guys in my other video. Bye.